Hi, happy Thursday. Woo! It's the Amber Shows. Okay, I got a lot of information for you, and this is my second take. So I want to get out the sun. So I'm going to make this tape correct. Okay, Rosie Perez is leaving The View. You know, she was only been there for about a year or so. To me, she's very good. I liked her. I think she's for real. She's honest. She's like a civil rights person for all people of different colors, for the brown race. She is honest, and my best thing about her is remembering her in, of course, Do the Right Thing, where she started it out and she was working it out. When she did the boxing scene, that's my girl, Rosie Perez. She was everything to me. You know, she was a choreographer for Janet Jackson and a lot of big stars and singers during that era. And now on The View, she's great. I love her opinions. I love her honesty. But she's leaving. There was a lot of different rumors about why. Some people were saying she was being fired because she said a lot of things recently that were truths about brown people. She was like saying, instead of us all being, why have we all been separated as far as the brown race? Like, you know, Haitians and Puerto Ricans and Mexicans and Africans, we're all from a brown race, and that we should not be separated. That so many brown racists don't want to say that and admit that they're black. And she was saying how a lot of Puerto Ricans don't want to admit they're black, Dominicans don't want to admit they're black, and they are black. We all come from Africa. But I think after that, that's when it came out that she's out. So I don't know if that had something to do with of her telling the truth. But maybe because she's on the wrong show. Maybe she should be on The Real instead of The View. But anyway, Whoopi, she's all right. She get on my nerves though. She seemed like she's kind of like Uncle Tomish. And Raven-Symoné is definitely Uncle Tomish. Raven-Symoné was on Oprah Winfrey not too long ago stating that she doesn't want to be identified as black. Well, honey, you are black and you're going to be identified as black. If you walk your ass through one of them little southern hick towns down in Texas and see if you ain't black or not when you hanging from the tree. And Oprah had told her when she said that she was going to get a lot of flack, especially on Twitter, and she has since then. But in the meantime, Rosie, I hate to see you go. Nicole Wallace, they're saying that she might go too. She's the resident Republican on there, way smarter than Elizabeth Hasselbeck. She has way more sense. She's much more likable. I actually like Nicole. She is really cool. It seems as though as a person and a human being and wife and mother and just a person, her views are different from mine, but it seems as though she's a likable person. Elizabeth Hasselbeck wasn't likable at all. Remember we talked about the drug-addicted babies? Well, I was trying to think of a solution, and I thought of one. Birth control. Birth control should just be free, so that all the dope fiends and the crackheads and everybody can just take birth control pills, and so you won't get pregnant, because condoms you definitely don't get, because that's money out your pocket for the drugs. But this will hopefully would eliminate some of the people who are getting pregnant and giving birth to children, bringing them into the world drug addicted. It's enough things that you got to go through when you become an adult, but to be brought in the world where the rest of your life you're going to have a drug craving, that's totally unfair. Remember we talked about the football players who were playing with the fireworks, grown men making plenty of money. Well, these are the repercussions from it. C.J. Wilson, who I talked about at the Buccaneers the other day, he's lost 2 fingers and $60 million contract that he had. Giants, Jason Pierre-Paul, same thing. He lost an index finger and has extensive hand damage. You cannot play with fireworks. Nobody knows. Fireworks are very unpredictable. They're like a schizophrenic person. You don't know when they're going to go off or when they're not going to go off. You can light one and keep waiting for it to go off and then walk up to it because it hasn't gone off, and then it goes off. Or it could go off as soon as you light it. Unless you're a professional, you should not play with these big, huge fireworks that are going to damage and take off body parts. Oh my God. Remember I told you about Tommy Woodward? He's the one who jumped in the Texas bayou and got ate up by the alligator when the sign said don't jump in the water because there are alligators. When his girlfriend said there's an alligator and he taunted the alligator in the water and then said I'm going to jump in, his girlfriend said no, don't jump in, and he jumped in and then he was ate by the alligator. And she saw it, which she said is something she'll never, ever, ever get over. Of course not. Well, anyway, now one of the men who live around there, near the bayou, right off the bayou, he shot and killed the 400-pound, 11.5-foot alligator yesterday, and it's against the law to shoot him. He hasn't been charged yet, and it definitely was the alligator that had killed Tommy Woodward when his body parts were inside the alligator. He said the reason he killed the alligator, not because he ate Tommy Woodward, but because he has grandchildren who play around that area, and also because he lives in that area off the bayou, and also he has children that swim in that water. He's saying that you shouldn't swim in there at night because that's when the alligators are feeding. Yay! I need this in my life. This is for my iPhone people. If you don't have an iPhone, then you don't really have a phone. Y'all can pretend like y'all have nice phones, you know, your little smartphones, but it ain't no phone like the iPhone. The iPhone is the grandfather, the Jurassic Park of iPhones. That iPhone started it all. So anything else, you're just trying to catch up with the iPhone, but you can't because they're always already ahead of you because they started first. So for my iPhone people, it's just like with P. Diddy. Ain't no party like a P. Diddy party. Ain't no phone like an iPhone. So your iPhone is getting a few new features that separate selfies from the rest of your photos. I need this terribly. I have 3,000 pictures in my phone alone, not counting my iPad. So the update launches this fall. You'll no longer have to sift through hundreds of photos to find your selfies. Apple is adding a new folder to the photo app called Selfies that takes all of your self-portraits and stores them in one neat folder. Okay, so now it's unclear how Apple's software, the OS 9, will determine which photos are, you know, and that go in what, how they go into that, which photos are selfies that will go in that account. But Apple insiders are saying that it's simply collecting all of the photos taken with your iPhone that are front-facing the camera and keeping them in one folder. The photo app iOS 9 is also getting a separate folder just for screenshots too, which the Android has had that for a while. It will finally make your photo library easier to go through. I need it. I need it bad. Okay, it's also important to keep in mind that it's just better off iOS 9. That means it's an early, unfinished version of the software, so things are subject to change before the final launches in the fall. So Apple is also expected to launch the public beta for iOS 9 sometimes this month, giving non-developers a chance to try the software before its official release for the first time ever. Okay, I did talk about Raven-Symoné. I don't like her anymore. You know, she doesn't think she's black. She doesn't want to be referred to as black, and I think that she's something's wrong with her because she even today on the show on The View she was talking about. You know, remember I told you yesterday about Ariana Grande licking donuts in a shop, and then getting mad when the girl behind the counter replaced those donuts she saw her licking. And Raven-Symoné today says, well, haven't you, because Ariana Grande also said, Iggy Azalea, I'm sorry, not Ariana Grande, sorry. Iggy Azalea said that she hates Americans when she got caught doing it. And so Raven-Symoné said, haven't you ever said like you get mad about something and just say, oh, I hate America? She Uncle Tom. All right, and thank me later, but my guilty pleasures are cheese and Krispy Kreme donuts. So, guess what's going on tomorrow? Krispy Kreme is celebrating its birthday tomorrow, Friday, July 10th, which is the anniversary of my mother's birthday, and she's passed away. She would be 92 tomorrow. Krispy Kreme is celebrating its birthday this week by giving out the best present ever, a dozen donuts for under $1. Okay? The chain will offer up a dozen donuts tomorrow, July 10th, giving Krispy Kreme their celebration of 78 years of business. So the donuts will be 78 cents. There's one catch, naturally. You'll have to purchase a dozen first. The second dozen will be 78 cents. Now, I don't know who needs 24 donuts, but, because when I go, I only buy 2. Unless, you know, like I'm getting them for the family or something, I'll get a dozen. But for myself personally, like, I'll just buy 2. And I won't do that, but maybe once a month. But I think it'd be a great idea if you get the next dozen for 78 cents. You could like knock on neighbors' doors, give each neighbor a donut, as you know, just a little, giving somebody something, just a give, and or give to your co-workers. Bring them to your co-workers, or bring them to your office, and pass out to maybe some students if you're a teacher, a summer school teacher. It'd be nice just to give back. Just give people you can be at the gas station. Somebody pull up and just pull out and give the person a donut. Okay, Chris Tucker is back. I'm so glad to see about that. He was on The View today. He's back. He looks good. I always thought he was a good-looking guy anyway, and he always dresses sharp. He said that he's a Virgo. That's why he's been away so long, because Virgos, which is really true, I'm sweating so bad. Which is really true about Virgos. They're a lot of fun, but they take their jobs very seriously when they're working, and so I definitely agree with that. So he said that that's why he's been gone, because his material has to be correct. Now he's back. He's doing stand-up. He's getting back into other movies. He told 2 funny things. He said that when he was in school, he used to act up so much, and his teacher said, "You know what? I'm going to call your mother and tell her how you acting up." He said, "Well, you better pay the phone bill, because our phone bill been cut off for 2 weeks if you're going to talk to my mother." I thought that was so funny. And he also said that one time he got lost in the mall, and his mother didn't even look for him. He said he had to go find a security guard, a guy in the mall, to help him find his mother. He said his mother had left the mall. She wasn't even there no more. So he's really on top of his game still, and very funny. So I'm glad to hear that Chris Tucker's coming back. Okay, you guys, I'm losing weight as I'm talking to you, which I'm really glad about that, because that's all I ever want to do, because you could never be too skinny and you could never be too rich. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you for coming to the Amber Show. Stay in shape, stay happy, be good. Thumbs up.